But what about the sunflowers? Earlier on, Dan was saying that you might be able to use all the Ukrainian sunflowers for your garden. Imagine having 100 of them in your garden. That would look pretty sweet.
Cool.
I go back to the lettuce. What is that? The little silver lettuce or
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Was it the
Cabbage thing.
a cabbage? That's what it is. Lettuce.
That might be the only use for that cabbage. That might be the only use for it.
Hey,
You
we
can
could
sell
play
it for
soccer with the cabbage.
Could sell it for
What was
some
that,
gems.
sorry?
Sell it for some gems.
Selling for some gems. That might actually raise the price now you said that. People are going to start buying the cabbage to put in their garden patch.
Now, Dee's going to start a farmer's market in the VeVeverse. She's going to sell cabbage, and it's
And
going to
we'll-
be a banger. She's going to make tons of gems selling
It'll be
cabbage.
the cabbage patch with the myrmecordos.
She'll have her labbit farm on the side. She'll be breeding some labbits at her in her farmer's market.
No, that'd be excellent. I come.
This time
I can
next
check it
year,
out.
you'll be millionaires.
A piece.
Hello and welcome to the channel, bobsales. This time's next year. So let's get back to another VeVe Mates episode. So hello everyone, welcome back. Everyone give us a wave. So if you could go around the board again and introduce yourselves. Of course, we've got some newer members and we've got some old members. So if you could go around the board, whoever wants to start.
I'm happy to go for it.
No, do it.
And username Anand One Kenobi on VeVe. Same on Twitter. Same on pretty much everything. But so I joined VeVe September 2021. I think it was around there. I was trying to figure out where to see my birthday when Hinano shared a screenshot of his birthday yesterday, but I haven't managed to do that. But I'd estimate around September. Day job, I'm an accountant. Night job, family time, friends time, and a lot of time looking at VeVe stuff. That's why I'm here, partly for an outlet and in the group chat with you guys. So that's been a welcome addition to my VeVe checkings daily, and that is it from me.
Nice.
Very
Welcome.
nice. Very nice.
Thanks.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Anyone else want to go? Hananu, you want to go next?
I'll go. Hey everybody again. It's Hinano, or the real Hinano on Twitter. Like I said before, father of one. My day job is I am a installation manager for a communications company. My VeVe birthday is today actually, and it was actually kind of exciting. I dropped one of my Todd pictures in VeVe's what they do, a follow back Friday. And so I dropped this nice picture of Todd in my backyard, and yeah, they gave me a follow. So that was a nice surprise for my VeVe birthday. Been with the project for a whole year, and I'm just having a good time with the community. And I'm just looking to see where the project goes next.
Well, happy birthday, brother.
Yeah,
Happy
happy
birthday.
birthday.
Thanks,
Birthday,
guys.
And now you're being followed. You've got to watch what you're saying. So
That's right, mate. We got eyes on you now.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Always watching.
Yikes.
I'm still gonna say what I want.
No, I don't blame you. I think that's the best way to be truthful and honest.
That's
Oh,
it,
yeah.
mate.
Alex,
well,
do you
I'm
want to go
awesome.
next, mate?
Yeah, I might as well go next. Hi, everyone. My name is Alex. I go by OzmanCollect63 on Twitter. I am a father of two. I work in recycling as a yard operative, as it's classed, but I drive all sorts of cool stuff from forklifts to front-end loaders. And yeah, I deal with recycling. So it's some exciting business. I originally got into VeVe of March last year because I managed to find my VeVe birthday. Ultra Rare Comics is kind of my thing. I'm also known as Mr. Ultra Rare, as dubbed by Mr. Bobsales. Thank you very much. And yeah, I originally got into VeVe just because I originally had a love of collecting years ago before I moved to England from Australia, if you can not tell from my accent. So left it for ages, found VeVe, and then that's basically like reignited my love of collecting comic books again. And I originally got into this group. I originally got onto the platform just to sort of connect with other members and grow as part of the community and meet all these amazing people.
Nice,
Nice.
nice. Thanks for having you again.
And that's
And
it.
can we
Thanks for
have
having me.
D? Oh, sorry.
Moonage can go.
Moonage,
Hi.
you want to go next, mate?
Sure.
Sorry.
Hey guys, my name's Adam, and I go by Moonage on Twitter. Longtime artist, graphic designer. That's what I do for a living. Longtime collector, all kinds of comic books. I just love old stuff. But pretty much comic books got me into art, and that's pretty much got me into VeVe too. So it's really cool to hook up with all you guys and be a part of this community, be a part of the VeVe mates. And yeah, father of two, husband, and yeah, it's pretty much play music on the side. So my loves are art and music.
Right on.
Sounds
Very
good.
nice. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Good
Yeah,
to
well,
have
And he
you.
also makes great t-shirts. And D, what about yourself?
Hi, I'm D, the one and only. I got into VeVe. It'll be a year next week. But other than that, for my day jobs, I work at a farm, and I'm also operations manager at a telephone company with the real Hinano. So I control his life.
Yeah, she's the boss.
Yeah, pretty much. I enjoy being part of this group, and hopefully we'll get more people on board. But yeah, it's just nice to chat with everybody. Missing a few, but hopefully in the future.
I was just about to say exactly the same thing. There is a few of us missing again, but hopefully they will join us at one point. So hello to everyone else. But with all that being said, it's good to see you all. So first question for you guys. In fact, I haven't introduced myself. Will probably be a good idea, wouldn't it? So I'm Bobsales. I'm actually Ashley. So I'm a small YouTuber. But the reason we had these conversations was because we were friends. So we all started as friends originally. Well, met through VeVe. So that's how everything started. So that's basically my story in a nutshell. So, and I'm a transport scheduler for a job. So, but anyway, so first questions, guys. So what drops and what have you been buying this week?
I've been looking at art. I bought the Decon mascot with the Nintendo duck hunt gun. I got that. I bought some Illazillas. And then I've just been looking for cheap comics. I bought a Ghost Rider rare just last night. And I'm just waiting because, you know, I got some secret rares that are kind of low, and which kind of sucks. But there's other secret rares I want to buy. It's just I'm waiting to see more capitulation. I'm waiting to see if they'll drop down more. But yeah, right now just looking at some art and just buying some cheap comics.
Sounds
Well,
good. Are you expecting things to drop down more from your perspective? Then everyone's got their own ideas, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I don't want to get into like market talk, but it's just
Yeah.
there's a lot of flooding going on, and there's also a lot of stuff going on outside of VeVe. And to me, it's a buying opportunity. That's the way I'm looking at it, as a buying opportunity. But I'm just trying to be patient. I'm okay with, you know, some of my losses. That's not where I have the worry. I just want to have a good entry point on some other things. Like I've been looking at ASM1 secret rare. I mean, I know some other secret rare guys must be looking at it too, right? It looks kind of juicy. And I've been looking at also Fantastic Four one. Those are ones that I don't own. But I'm just being patient on it, and maybe I might lose it. You know, maybe it might run from me. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing.
Me personally, we all know the 12 days is coming for Christmas. we are still going to have 12 days of drops, so that is definitely going to make things worse. So, in my opinion,
Mm.
so that you should probably wait till then.
Yeah.
But then,
yeah,
is it going to pick up after Christmas? That's the thing at the minute.
But then when you hear people overlap with what you're looking at, because you mentioned ASM1, I was literally going to buy that an hour before, well, no, about 20 minutes ago. There's one on that's been on the market for a while for 1,070. Before we share this with everybody, I probably will buy it now. But if
You should probably
buy
do
it.
that now.
Yeah, you should buy it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it.
Not financial advice.
No,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
it's just there's so few of them. I think there were from memory. I don't know if anyone's got the app open, but there were 14 on the market. It stayed at 14 on the market for ages. With other collectibles, you're waiting for people to undercut each other.
Mm.
But in this case, this person has stayed at 1,070 for the past week now, I think it is, and then the next one's 1.2k. I don't know, maybe it's 1,299. I didn't check, but I don't think there's a lot more people who'd want to sell. Otherwise, they'd be trying to undercut each other.
Mm.
Because in order to get that 1,000 gems, I was trying to sell a few things, and then as soon as I list something, some other person's gone 10 gems under what I've put, and I don't want to end up in a price cutting war. So
Yeah, no. And you're right. You know what? The supply on all these comics are super low. So you can tell people are holding, especially the secret rares, and even those ultra rares too. If you look at like the old commons and uncommons, like a good example is Darkhawk uncommon. There's not a lot left, and you know, I thought I was the only Darkhawk fan. You know, I mean, it's like a meme comic to some people, right? But yeah, some of these comics are really low on supply.
Mm.
There's what else was it? There was the one with Dr. Octopus. Is that Amazing
Yeah,
Spider-Man?
Spider-Man number 3.
ASM3.
I think there was
Yeah.
only about 6 or 9 of them, and there's a few like that. I think the first appearance of Black Widow, there's under 10, and as soon as you list one under 200, it sells. So there's somebody watching certain comics, and
Yeah.
you know,
My collectibles.
yeah,
Oh man, he's looking at Amazing Fantasy. That guy. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's true.
it's terrible. Must be on 20 copies. I think he's probably above that now.
I think he's at 23.
Yeah, so I knew he was getting there somewhere.
Wow.
So what about everyone else? Dee, have you been buying anything?
No, just going for whatever is dropping. And then they go like way below, but I still hold them. Just mainly because I like the covers. Well, not all the time, but most of the time I like the covers, or I just keep it just because. And then I did finally get well, a couple days ago, the Galactica, which is one of my favorite collectibles. Yeah, just whatever is the like whatever drop is coming like for comics, I usually go for.
Yeah. I must say, I think all of our group agree on the comics. That's one thing I think all of us tend to have. I think Kenobi, you're a bit different. I think you collect a lot of collectibles, don't you?
I've got quite a lot of golden moments in the collectibles
Nice.
section
Nice.
at the moment.
He's waiting for that Disney IP, that world.
Not really the world, because I'm not. I don't know if it's coming. They've been clear that they haven't signed up to that just yet. It's more knowing that they've discontinued is one thing. And there was a video, what was it? The Disney Accelerator program, where it was a Disney video, not VeVe, and they showed the golden moments. So whatever happens to VeVe, we all think it's going to be a success, but whatever happens to it, you know that Disney have acknowledged they exist, and I assume have some sort of plan for them. So that's partly why, yeah, I've gone for them.
Yeah.
Also, when new people come to the app, I think it's just one of those brands that stand out as well. For me, when you see that brand of golden moments, it just shouts out, I don't know, something different to the rest of them. So that's kind of why I've been going for them. So my target's 100. I think I'm on 96. But yeah,
Nice.
the problem is whenever you've got a target and you reach it, it's never enough.
Well,
I'm
the
sure,
goalpost
yeah,
was up.
Osman probably did that with his comics getting to 100. Now you're over 100. So, I assume.
Yeah.
I think that was my thing. Like the first 100 comics, I was so overjoyed to get there, and then when it got to 200, I think it's probably about 400 now. But I have the 2 accounts, but we'll get to all of that. But Osman, what have you been buying, mate? Anything good?
What have I been buying? I mean, my latest
Right.
purchases were a couple of Ultra Rare comics. I
Sure.
recently purchased, yeah, shocker, right? Because me personally, I've kind of stopped going for the drops now because I just end up just getting commons and uncommons, and I just kind of got sick of it. So I just sort of wait for the drops. I sort of try and play on the hype as well. So when everyone's sort of focused on the next big shiny thing, I try and swing around and try and have a look at some of the older stuff that people have sort of forgotten about.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, but so my latest pickups, I got Avengers 57, the first appearance of Vision.
Yeah.
And also got Eternals #1.
Right.
And also what's it? The Spider-Man comic, part of the Craven Last Hunt series as well, just because it was cheap and it was there. Because when I sort of look at what I'm going to buy, I try and go for basically low mint and also kind of like a low price as well, and kind of look for those two sort of things. And when they kind of intersect, that's when I kind of start focusing on what I'm trying to pick up. But I've kind of had to ease off a little bit because obviously like getting into Christmas, and I've got funds that need to go in other places, having a small family. But yeah, right now I'm just watching and waiting. I do have my eye on one at the moment, which I believe is give me a sec, which is Avengers #12, which is the first appearance of Mantis, which is the newest Nicoretta Bulgaria cover, which I have every intention of grabbing. It's just obviously, like I said, being Christmas, funds are in other areas at the moment, so I have to try and be patient.
That ultra rare is
Fair.
really nice.
It is nice, yeah. It's a nice cover.
I actually
to
got that
be-
one on the. I got the secret rare on the drop, and I don't usually go for drops too often because I do
Nice.
really bad. But I actually got that one.
Nice.
Yeah, I started VeVe January last year, and prices were pretty high. So
Yeah.
I got in pretty. It's been a bumpy ride for me, but I've been pretty much doing the same thing with just taking the book from Mr. Ultra Rare here. And my latest purchases, probably Fantastic Four #12, Hulk and Thing.
Oh yeah, nice.
The battle, ultra rare, low mints, and I'm trying to now I'm just trying to stack some ultra rares like Avengers 4. I really like that one. Iron Man 55, first appearance of Thanos, and then
That's a nice one.
Yeah, that is nice cover.
one I wanted for a while is Thor 337, first appearance of Beta Ray Bill.
Bill. Yeah, I've been watching that one too.
Yeah, I got that one on the floor. So I don't know. I just kind of just wait. I just been patient since I came in when the market was just booming. So I'm just trying to get something back, you know.
That's not that low mint that I saw listed for. I think it was 105 gems, was it?
No, I got it before that. It was 100. I got
nice.
a low 1,000 mint for $100.
Nice.
Sweet.
I mean, can stuff get any lower at this point? It's getting that way.
Probably will.
You can always go low, mate.
Don't say things like that.
Yeah, anything can go low. But
yeah, we've got
as long as you
12
like
days
what you
coming
bought.
up, so
That's it.
Yeah, I've been
Sorry,
waiting.
You mentioned Eternals, Alex. Has anyone seen the film? Because that's one of the things on Disney Plus. I see it like 2 hours, 20 minutes or something, and then I just kind of think, all right, maybe next week, and it just always gets pushed down the road.
I mean, I've seen it. It was good. I mean, I enjoyed the movie. I wouldn't put it up there like the greatest Marvel movie of all time, but it did set the stage for like a few characters that they could potentially bring in down the line. Yeah, I mean, I definitely enjoyed it. So it's definitely worth a watch.
I'll give it a go this week. Definitely watch it.
Yeah, I'll do it.
sorry, my cat's just spilt my drink down here. Again, it's playing up like normal. Sorry about that. But yeah. Where's the Nanu gone? He's disappeared again.
You and your cat.
I'll
He's
take
been
one
run.
for you.
So what else are we gonna say, Josh? So has anyone had any luck on drops? So a lot of you saying that you're getting commons recently. D said you got commons. I actually got the legendary on the DC. The first legendary. I actually struck
Yeah.
out.
Congratulations.
Very nice.
Kinda
Funny
rare.
enough, it would be the one that's worth like 60 gems. Well, dollars, sorry.
Yeah. Everything is in gems now.
Yeah, it's getting that way. Even in the UK, I keep saying gems. It's quite bad. So did anyone go for the Disney drama? Disney comic, sorry.
No, I didn't. I got
Yeah.
stuck at work.
I failed. Tried, didn't get it. My colleague got it, but I was surprised it sold out instantly. In a sense, some people expected it because anything with Mickey has that premium, but yeah, I wasn't sure it'd sell out instantly. But I think
But again,
Moody
did any rest of you go for the Disney one?
Nah, I got stuck at work, so I couldn't do it.
I did
Yeah,
Sleepgate. I slept right through it. I actually wanted to go for it, but then I heard it sold instantaneously. So yeah,
Yeah, it did. Yeah,
Oops, maybe I
literally
should
straight out.
yeah.
Is the is the internal in Italian as well? It's like it's all in Italian, yeah.
No,
No,
The covers
the
are
inside's
Italian,
English.
the inside is English.
Ah, okay, cool.
The worst thing is, all you needed to do was look at the preview of the comic, and you would have known that. But
That's
I
true.
never did that. I never did that myself till after the drop or the day of the drop, neither. But you literally just needed to look at the preview, and it showed you the first page.
Nah, right.
But I think I literally done that. I think an hour before the drop, so
Mm.
it didn't really help at the time. But I knew it was going to be English. But I expected it to get dumped actually, because I thought the Italian people would think it was Italian inside, but it actually held up pretty well. But with all that being said, I should have sold at the 50, 60 gem mark because it's steadily going back down like everything else.
That's it, as it does.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
the secret rare's hasn't started going down yet. I think it was initially about 160, it went up to 230, went down to 190, and now just looking now, I think it's at 210. So at the moment,
That's
it's
nice.
kind of holding up, but I don't know how long it'll last. There's probably a few people that think every time this goes under 200, I'm going to get one, but after they've got 10, they might change their mind.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a great looking comic. It's probably not the best comic, but it's definitely nice to have a different IP for a change. Even
Well,
though
it's the first Disney comic, right?
It is
Yeah.
first
The first,
point.
and
I'm not
Disney's a powerhouse on the app.
I was about to say, I'm not sure if it's the same like on the whole blockchain, but I've not looked into that. I'll be honest with you. But it's definitely first for VeVe.
I think it is the first on the blockchain, based on a couple of videos I've watched, but I could be wrong. That's not based on looking around. It's just secondhand information.
Well, I got a question about that. Does it matter? Does being first on the blockchain matter when it comes to people that don't know about blockchain and crypto?
That is
Not if you
very
don't
true.
know.
You know,
It's kind of a yes no, really.
I guess
I
it
mean,
depends on the
For
person.
us, yeah.
to me, it matters.
Yeah.
You know, but like that's me, right? You know, I understand. I understand like maybe that much about like blockchain, but I have a good idea. I don't know. It's just a
doubt it.
question I'm throwing out there.
I think it could matter in a generation's time when grandpa and granddad are sadly where we are the grandpas and
Yeah,
granddads,
for us.
Yes.
potentially, but short term, personally, I'm not sure. I'm
Nah.
not sure.
Not yet, at least. Not until like the VeVeverse and all these other platforms are made where people actually know what that means, how significant they were. It's first edition, first blockchain. Like right now, no one even cares. They just want the best, the oldest book right now. So
I think the starting point would be there needs to be some website that verifies which one is the first one. Even though you can verify it yourself on the blockchain, there needs to be like an official source where they say it wasn't Palm, it was VeVe, or vice versa, and things like that. Otherwise, if there's no official source, it's just everyone likes a ranking system. So if you
They
can,
do.
if you can just go and look at something like that, well, I've got this. Look at on website XYZ. It's the first one, and then that would start to add to the prestige of it. But yeah,
Well, I think
Fact checking.
yeah, I think that's what gives the first the Bat Cow comic book. I think that's what gives it its value right now. It's being first on the blockchain, right? The value of Marvel Comics #1, does that give it necessarily that high value because it is the first blockchain? Not on the blockchain, not really, because the value comes because it's the first one, right? So I don't know. In this case, I think with the Bat Cows comic book, it's actually giving it its value right now, being first on the blockchain. But I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure if that matters right now for everything else.
If I were to Google where I just have first Batman on the blockchain, it says the Bat Cow collection first rather than anything like Todd. So that's a kind of a bit of a hindrance and a argument for this ranking system before anything actually means anything.
Yeah.
Personally.
No, I don't know. I think it comes like down to like the eye of the beholder, really. Like it's really like, you know, that each individual gives something value. I mean, like it's the same argument. Like take something, for example, like Action Comics #1. Say in real life, I mean, what that goes for, like what, a couple $1 million, something like that. It's like, but why is that worth $100 million or whatever it is? So is it because it's old? Is it because it's like, you know, it has Superman on the front? Is it because like what actually gives something value? Is probably like a more of a decent question. Like, you know, it might matter to some people if it's the first on the blockchain. It might just matter to somebody just, hey, cool, it's Superman. I like Superman. But it's the same sort of argument. Like, you know, say if I take this pen, it's like, you know, this pen, like, you know, is anyone going to care about it in like, you know, 100 years, or if it's on the first blockchain? So probably not. But it's like if you take something like a popular like character or something, like say like obviously Mickey, in like 100 years, is that still going to be relative? Like is something going to come along and knock Mickey off his pedestal? Or that's kind of like where I'm sort of coming from.
I do agree it helps when it comes to the different sites. Like comparing the different sites together, which ones were first on that. I do agree with that. But it's like so a different example for you. So VeVe have released things before that's been first on the VeVe app, but it's not been first on the blockchain. So in your view, if it come out first on the VeVe app, is that first, or is the blockchain now the first? Now we have all that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think that.
Yeah.
The blockchain probably.
I think probably the blockchain would probably trump VeVe.
Because
the blockchain.
Yeah, VeVe's just saying it's first appearance on VeVe, aren't they? So if there's something on Palm, like if they were to release a, don't know, Poison Ivy or something like that, it'd be first. I assume they'd put it as first appearance on VeVe, even though it's on HRO.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, we came back to that argument a while back about the Flash, wasn't it?
Yeah,
having his first appearance on HRO, and the other one was like on VeVe or something like that, or some other platform.
Yeah,
which one was actually first for Flash?
Do
you know which one was first for Flash? Is it actually the battle statue, or is it the HRO?
HRO. It'll be HRO.
Maybe then you got that now, right? You got all that confusion between VeVe, HRO, and whoever else. Like, because DC is just kind of like swinging it all over the place, every corner and nook and cranny, right? But how does that affect it now, right? With different projects that have first on the blockchain, and then it goes back to the original question: does it matter?
Well, first card on the digital card on the blockchain, first collectible, first comic. I think like it is in the beholder. Like, what are you into? Like me personally, I don't collect too many collectibles. I do the comics. So for me, I'd spend more money on the comics, just personally.
That's right, and that's what gives these value.
Yeah, I agree with sorry. Yeah, I agree with the comics as well. Because I think most of us were first collecting the comics. I mean, when I first joined VeVe, I see the value in the comics because of people collecting in the real world comics. So
Well, so
it's
well,
the same-
the first comic I bought on the app was New Mutants number 98, just a common, like in the first appearance of Deadpool. One, because I like Deadpool, and two, because like I was just new to the platform and wanted to try and test it out. So which is another thing which brings us back to the listing thing, which could be quite good, is it will be easy to use, because you can go back and look at all this thing on like a Mutascan or everything like that, but people like ease of use. So they want to be able to look at something and have it all there in front of them and say, yep, okay, I've got this, it's there, it's worth this much according to this person, and then that's the end of it.
Nice. Yeah, no, I agree with all that. I think most of us do with the comics, to be fair.
Yeah.
And it's the same with the mint numbers. Like with the mint numbers on the collectibles, I didn't value them very highly at first. Obviously, you're going to get a premium for them. But on the comics, I did value them higher, if that makes sense, because of real life, comics. So first editions, stuff like that.
Well, I'm the same. Like when I first got into like getting the ultra rare comics, I was just buying just things off the floor. But then I realized that if you pay that little bit more for the lower mint numbers, they seem to retain their value a bit better. So that's when I sort of like the first sort of bits of my collection were just like floor mints, and just gradually as time went on, they've sort of gone lower and lower and lower. That's why now I'm trying to swing back around and pick up all like the lower mint editions for the ones I originally bought, which were just all like higher floor mints. Because people do value the lower edition sizes more than floor mints, and they seem to retain their value a bit better.
It's just a harder sell. So you're filtering out. So let's say you've got some Thor comic, you're filtering out from someone that wants a Thor comic, wants an ultra rare, and then wants to pay a premium for a lower mint as well. But if it's long-term hold, it doesn't really matter, I guess.
Well, that's right. It's kind of like a double-edged sword, really. Like if you wanted to try and get a premium for it, it might have to sit in the market longer trying to find that one buyer for it. But at the same time, if you need liquidity there and then, if you floor it at a reasonable price, it will probably move real quick.
Yeah. I'm curious what they're going to do, if they're going to do anything relating to mint numbers with MCP like HRO have, and have the leaderboard and lower mint numbers give higher points. Because David did mention that, or was it Dan? He said it's going to change buying patterns. So I don't know if that would just be, get secret rares or ultra rares for your best points to pound ratio or dollars ratio.
Yeah. Well, right now the MCP points on ultra rare comics is three points a comic. But I believe I did read somewhere in there that apparently if you got lower mints to a certain percentage, you get an extra 50% in points on top of that.
Right. So there is something.
Cool.
That'll be interesting.
Though have a look and quote me if I'm wrong, but I do believe there is something in there about lower mints get an extra 50% or something like that.
It does make sense to do something like that, because that's something HRO's done really well. It's made people play the game, or whatever the term is, and like held the user base strong in this market, which was never that big in the first place.
Yeah, because HRO, I think, I can't remember last time I checked the wallets, but I think it was like 2,000 wallets or something. Really, really small.
Yeah.
And but like you say, with the point system, as you can see by Bane and Rob's stuff and people like that, it does work. People do chase it.
Yeah, they definitely do. And I was guilty of that, and then realized I've just wasted a load of money, and then can't stop that after.
Now that's the funny thing about HRO. It is not paid off financially. Financially for everyone in it. I don't, unless you were in the first, the first packs that come out. They were the only things that went. Now you can get every single pack you can buy off the market and still from drop. It's pretty poor price wise. Most things are $1.
Yeah,
it can only go up from there, can't it? Right?
Yeah, the digitals are fairly scarce. That's what it has going for it, I think.
And I think the other thing with HRO is it's just the front of the cards. I think that's there's no inside, there's nothing more to it. All right, they've got the physical side of it, but they haven't got they haven't got a lot else on there. You've got the trade inside and stuff like that, the points.
Yeah,
they haven't got no AR functions. That's what I'm getting to. No VeVeverse.
True.
Shall we talk about the VeVeverse?
That's what I was
just
about to say.
So which Go on, we'll go straight to the VeVeverse. Let's go straight to the VeVeverse. So of course, a lot of you were at the event. So people at the event must have better, how can I say it? Better
Understanding.
opinions,
perspective?
better views than us. So how did your experience go at the event? And what did you witness? I'll get my words out in a minute. Sorry.
I'll go first because this is something I want to talk about. First off, the event was great. When we first got the event, I was super nervous. I was telling Dee when we were walking up to the booth and it was in like in a corner area, I was telling her, man, I'm getting kind of nervous. You know what I mean? Because I could see the first person I saw was VeVe Vibes because he's so tall. I told Dee, oh my God, look, there's VeVe Vibes, right? You know, you get all starstruck. So we were standing in line and we ran right into my collectibles, and that guy is exactly who he is on screen, off screen, super nice guy. Gave me and Dee a big bear hug, and yeah, so like after that, it was like nothing after, you know, it's like, you know, we just started like introducing ourselves to a bunch of people. There was like I think he was an anesthesiologist that was behind us, him and his wife, super cool guy. I can't remember his name. Some Anesthesia Penguin, I think that's the guy's name.
Yeah.
And then I met a guy in front of us. His name was Franz, and he actually he's doing work down here in Hawaii. So he flew from Hawaii as well. But anyways, what I'm trying to get at is like it was super easy to like talk story with people. You know, we met the superstars, and I'm getting to somewhere with this. But anyways, we we met a whole bunch of the community, and you know, we spent a whole weekend with the people, and it was a lot of us. It was like a lot of us there. But going back to the VeVeverse, you know, I mean, we're a community that's spread through different digital platforms and different digital mediums. Like right now, we're talking on a video conference, and we're sharing our views. You know, we're always in our chats. We're in Twitter. We're in Discord. We're in, you know, all these different outlets where we can actually communicate with each other and socialize. And so, to me, the VeVeverse is just like another construct to where we can go and do that. But instead of being spread out throughout all these different virtual outlets, it's all going to combine into one little construct for the community to actually, you know, interact and do what we're doing now. And so a lot of people, I think, are not realizing, at least in my opinion, what the VeVeverse really is. I mean, and I'm sure if I asked all you guys, you would give me your opinion on the VeVeverse, but to me, the VeVeverse is not a virtual construct. We are the VeVeverse. The VeVe fam is the VeVeverse. And I say that because not only did I experience it in real life, I'm experiencing it right now with all of you guys. We're literally all over the world, and we're talking to each other about the VeVeverse, about VeVe in general. VeVe is the one that got us all together, right? I can only imagine a year ago, if we saw each other like on a street, we'd walk right past each other and not even know not think twice about it, right?
Yep.
But because of VeVe, it kind of brought us all together. So that's how I look at it now. The VeVeverse is us, the community, and just David and Dan, they're just trying to build some type of construct to where we can actually all come together as one instead of being on Twitter and YouTube. And that's okay. You know, that's kind of like what got us all together. Now, going back to what I saw at DCon, I mean, I saw all kinds of things: emotions, drama, fun, drunk people, you know, everything. Yeah. Moonage knows. But from what I'm trying to get at, we're going to be able to do all of that now in the VeVeverse. You know, there's going to be people doing YouTube. We're going to be chatting like this in the VeVeverse. There's going to be e-commerce going on in there. There's going to be artists launching projects. There's going to be music. People are going to fall in love in the VeVeverse, and people are doing that now in our community. I'm not going to say who it is, but there are people that are meeting each other for the first time in VeVe. They're falling in love. They're getting together. There's friends. I consider you guys all friends. And it's, to me, it's bigger than that. It's bigger than the collectibles. It's bigger than the comics. And we just need to look past the flipping aspect and just think of it as a big community, just being able to do things as a community in this construct. And we're already doing it now. It's just David and Dan is building a virtual world for us to actually unify together to do that. That's kind of where I'm at. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think if you asked everyone, I think everyone would have their different version of what they took away from the VeVe burst. Because I think it was just massive. I think we all expected less, a lot less.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Right.
for me, I thought it was excellent. Like, I'm really happy with it. There's a lot going on. Even like the small details, like the light fixtures. I mean, there must have been 30 sets of lights in there, 30, you know, stuff like that. But again, like you say, it's a community that runs it. If there's no community, no one's going to be in it to use it. And
Mhm.
of course, I want you to visit me at my real house. But while we can't do that, you can come visit me in my VeVeverse house.
That's
Or
right.
ship, or
Yeah.
sea, or whatever.
Well, that's where I'm going to live. You can find me on my battle star. I'll be floating above everybody. I'll try not to take a leak on anyone, but that's where I'll be. Come find me in the sky.
Is it inject the trash or something like that?
What about the rest of you guys? What do you guys think about the Vverse? What about you, Anand? What do you think?
It wasn't anywhere near as emotive as you've just described it. It was more like a. I was just thinking more practically. I was surprised. I initially thought it would be a glorified showroom, to be honest. I didn't think it'd be much more than that. So I was pleasantly surprised with what they brought out. And obviously I wasn't there to try the VR glasses or anything else. I don't know if any of you guys tried the VR glasses, but from what I heard, that hit really well with people. A couple of things that stood out, I guess the scripting language, TypeScript, I think will enable users to add a lot of things themselves or ourselves to the VeVeverse, which will be good because we've got a lot of talented community members who'll be able to utilize that, I think, and that's only going to grow.
Dan was actually talking about that earlier in the AMA. Did any of you watch it?
Which AMA?
The one today.
Oh,
The
that's
one today.
I
And he
didn't
was
know
actually
that.
talking about how he
Was.
changed the script so he could
Yeah.
make collectibles appear from
All
the
out of the
sky
sky.
and stuff like that.
Mm.
So it was pretty cool. So he's definitely been in there having a play. And then one of the other things he mentioned was the rocks and the ground packs. So he basically said at one point in there that you can get these rocks or ground packs so you can change your floor. So rather than have a carpet, you can have sand or water. Or now the question is, with all that being said, do you think we're going to pay for that?
They're accessories, aren't they?
I would say probably. I mean, like
How-
there might
how
be like
much?
some base packs, which everyone wish would be free, and then for the more premium stuff, like say if you want to have like a rock from I don't know a certain IP or something like that. Say you want to live in the Mushroom Kingdom from Mario or whatever it is, you probably have to pay like some kind of premium for that. But if it's just like a standard like rock or pebble or something, then yeah, that'll probably be free.
Well, doesn't OpenSea have a rock that's worth like $200,000?
Yeah.
So,
Is it?
I mean, it goes back to what Alex said. It's the eye of the beholder, right? Maybe someone's going to buy a bunch of rocks in the VeVeverse and hey, to each his own.
To be fair, I'm sure OpenSea had poos on there at one point and all.
No, mate, they have everything on there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least we don't get them sort of NFTs, eh?
That's it.
But
Which
that's
also begs the question, like who's crazy enough to like list this sort of stuff, but at the same question, who's crazy enough to buy it?
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely some crazy people in the NFT space.
But again, eye of the beholder.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Yeah.
it's part of the evolution of NFTs as well. Without that, we probably wouldn't be here now with all of this stuff. So we're just part of the next phase of it. The IPs and the bigger companies getting behind it, and yeah, lucky to be here. So,
If it weren't for the money, no one would be here. Like
I think they would.
company-wise, NFT-wise,
Right, yeah.
IP-wise. If they didn't see the money signs, they wouldn't be here.
I think there'd be some people would be getting Disney stuff. There's mad Disney collectors out there.
Yeah.
They're like, I think I went on eBay once ages ago, and there was like empty bottles saying there's bottles of air from Disneyland and things like that. It's insane. And yeah, they've done that with concerts as well. It's there are if there's people buying rocks, there's people that the collecting everything, I think, and Disney's one of the big ones out there.
Yeah, big. There's a lot of big Disney collectors out there. Star Wars, comic book collectors. So
Everyone's got a niche.
yes,
So
Yeah.
Battlestar collector, right?
Yeah, definitely.
That's a small niche.
very small niche. Although I do
What
own
about
one
you,
of them
Adam?
chips.
Oh man,
What do you think about it, Adam?
well, when we were there, we're at the reveal.
Yeah.
I couldn't see anything. There were so many tall people right there. That's when I met you and D. But I literally was trying to look at the big screen and I couldn't see anything. Ghost 888 was relaying the information what he saw because he's tall. It's like over 6 foot. But yeah, so I've been in the NFT space for like a couple of years, maybe like 3 years now. And I was thinking like, all right, how's this gonna be? You know, what's this gonna be like? Because I'm really interested in the gamification. That's what I want to see where that goes. I want to see how possibly they're gonna use that. I don't know with actual collectibles or that already exist, or if they're just gonna make their own arcade game or whatever. But yeah, really, I don't know too much about it yet. It kind of reminds me of the sandbox. If you guys know about that, people creating their own worlds and games in there, but that's a very complicated process. The sandbox, you got to actually be a programmer. You got to kind of be savvy like that, you know. It's interesting. I want to see how we're able to modify the world. The VeVe-verse, you know. I think Alex, you were talking about like the ease of use.
Yeah.
Before, if you want to take it.
Yeah, like I was saying before, like that's really what's going to drive adoption for like the VeVe-verse is ease of use. So people don't want to like learn a whole different coding language just so they can have like I say like a rock in their house or something like that. They want to basically like I was saying previously, is like the whole reason I got into VeVe is because of the ease of use. Like it's not like OpenSea where you have to learn about MetaMask and like blockchain addresses and stuff like that. You've got to double check and triple check everything and make sure everything lines up. Otherwise, one wrong click and you're basically buggered.
You send your spawn NFT to your VeVe account.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Good example. But I mean, that's what I like about VeVe is like, I see something I like, I want it, I hit the buy now button, I pay with my credit card or debit card, and it's mine. Done deal. So the VeVe-verse needs to be something like that as well. Whereas, like I've said previously, like if my grandma can jump in and use the VeVe-verse with no problems whatsoever, then that's when you know you're basically there.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a bit more difficult than that for a little while, anyway. At least.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a bumpy road, but I believe with the direction they're going, they will get there. It's just a question of when.
Well, it all goes to scalability. You know, I mean, like we can say that we can do this and we can change our rock packs and, you know, I can go float in the sky. I can say all that all I want, but in the end, you know, it's scalability. Can they do it? Can they actually execute on making this happen? Now, you're right. I really thought we were going to get a glorified vault. I really was not excited to see the VeVe-verse when we actually got there. I was more excited to meet like Moonage or Dimitri or anything like that, but I wasn't. Yeah, but when we saw it, you know, and we saw what they did, like, hey, that's pretty cool. And then, you know, when they said they haven't shown us a lot of it yet, that's even more cool. I mean, I can only imagine what we didn't see, but it all goes down to execution. I mean, like in any business, they're a business, right? Can they execute? We already know they're vertically integrated. They got a good team, or at least I like the team. I'm not happy all the time with how they release information. I think they need to get better with that, but it all comes down to scalability. Can they do it? You know, do they have the right amount of servers? Do they have the right amount of support? And then it comes back to the community. That thing will not fly without us. I'm just going to say that right now.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
Did any of you try the glasses when you were at the event?
Dee did.
What was that like?
Well, I did, but it wasn't, well, yeah, it wasn't what they showed in the VeVe verse. What I saw was like it was like spatials almost, like kind of that kind of viewing, like just stuff.
Like a showroom.
Yeah, like a showroom.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, I mean, that was cool. And so
Was
when
it like
was
was it
that?
like was it like the showroom we have currently, or completely different?
I don't. Well, I don't even remember. what
It was
I saw.
different. It was different because you could also go outside on the PC and roam around, or you could put the
Right.
goggles on. And it
Yeah.
was a little bit different, but they didn't show us everything because the reveal was the next day.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So for me, yeah, my example was like it was like a showroom on spatial, like a kind of a basic spatials room.
Bigger.
Yeah, but bigger. But so when it came time for the VeVe verse showing, like Moonage, I was in the back and I'm a short person. So I saw it afterwards when content creators had it, like the live thing on YouTube. I saw it that way. Yeah. So it's pretty cool after watching it on YouTube. It's pretty cool.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
I guess that's going to be one of the fastest moving spaces in the next few years, the VR world. So whatever you saw is going to be massively developed on, just like everything, just like the VeVe verse. So there were parts of it where I saw, I think Dan was walking around and half of his body fell through the floor.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember that.
yeah, don't.
I'm sure that stuff won't happen.
Yeah, I see that. As soon as I see that on the demo, I thought, oh no, well, that was not what you needed to happen on the demo.
No, but I suppose you get things like that, don't you? Like just little technical glitches, but I guess that's all part of the teething, the teething issues. Like so long as the direction is sound and the team, like, you know, is actually delivering, maybe not always on time, but they're delivering what they're saying, then that shows promise.
It's
Well,
future teleportation.
We'll be
It's
using our DeLoreans.
It's like the Tesla that the windows
Oh yeah,
break.
yeah. That's a classic. Yeah. Mooney,
I was gonna say something. I forgot what I was gonna say now. Sorry.
Mooney, I was just going to say it's good that we know gamification is coming because it was on the Q4 agenda. And I think you mentioned, will you be able to use the collectibles? I think Dan explicitly said something about using your Lambos and driving them around, and so hopefully that will be the case. And but I don't know if he said they would build a racetrack or he said if not, somebody in the community will anyway. So yeah, looking forward to all of that. That'll be good, even if it's not Q4. We know it's coming at some point.
Yes, because he actually said that you could get in the DeLorean with your avatar and drive it around.
Oh, did he say that?
Like that. And he also said that gamification, that at one point he's hoping that maybe we're going to be able to race for pink slips and stuff like that in the video.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That's pretty cool.
At least you're in a fast.
Will we get the Marvels gamified?
The Mighties?
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, the Mighties.
I hope they surprise us because I have so many of those. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think I was looking back at some old YouTube videos on Mighties before, and 10 months ago, all YouTubers were saying they're going to be gamified. One of them said 100% they're going to be gamified. Then a few months later, they said things are highly unlikely, which basically means no to me. I think to be gamified because they weren't built with a skeleton. It'd be a lot of work to go back in and edit them. But they could be. They didn't say this part. Just thinking that they could be used as tokens to enter a game, which is good enough. It gives Moonage utility for all of his Mighties that he's got, and I've got a lot as well, so don't worry.
Make them like chess pieces or something.
Exactly. That's what I was just thinking, like a chess piece or something, right? Yeah. And you move them.
A checker or something. Come on.
Yeah. They remind me of like Funko Pops, the Mighties.
They totally.
Yeah, they are totally Funko Pops.
Yeah, and some Funko Pops are worth a lot of money, so Yeah, I mean, there's still chance for it, right?
Well,
Well, I like Funko Pops, but I can't stand the mighty. Sorry, but I can't.
well, I mean,
It's the
They're
same thing.
basically a cheap version of Funko Pops. I can't do it to myself.
I mean,
But wait. So Marvel
yes,
is.
no,
Sorry, I'm sorry, but go for it, mate.
I was about to say, well, another thing they could possibly do is, like, you know, if you like they've been doing, like, you know, with the Black Panthers and stuff like that. If you hold the whole set, then you get an airdrop, or you get some kind of an entitlement or something to something further on down the line. Whether that be, like, you know, say if I hold a whole set of, I don't know, like Deadpool Funko Pops, I might get like airdropped like a gamified Deadpool or something that you might be using some game later on down the track. That's also a possibility.
Yeah.
I definitely reckon that if anything happens with them, I think Moonage has got it. It's chess pieces.
Yeah.
Well, so, like, you know, the one thing that we should at least acknowledge is Marvel likes them. They've been
Yeah.
at Comic-Con. They're
That's
like
true.
they're full size. Marvel's promoting them, so I mean,
Yeah.
there could very well be something going on if Marvel's doing something with them and
Yeah,
promoting them at Comic-Con.
They could have chosen anything to be their first giveaway. They chose a mighty. I think it was a Red Skull, something like that.
Yeah,
That was
Yeah.
one of
that
them,
and that and the Marvel comics.
Yeah, and in some of the booths, there always seems to be a big picture of a mighty out of everything as well. Not a golden moment, not a whatever else. It's a mighty. So there's got to be something about them. Not necessarily
like,
directly gamified, but I think that whatever it is, I don't know, but
maybe they're trying to target a younger demographic, maybe.
yeah, true.
Yeah.
The Funko audience.
Yeah.
Trying to rope in the next generation.
They're trying to
Well,
get
so-
you, actually.
Yeah.
Well, here's something funny about the Funkos. So before we went to Decon that Friday, we went shopping. We took our daughter to a mall, and there was a big store just full of Funko. I mean, the thing was huge, just walls of Funko, and there was a lot of people in that store. So there's a market for that type of collectible, I guess. You know.
Yeah. And they were mainly like our age and a little bit older. It wasn't like little kids with their parents. Well, except our daughter, but it was mainly like, yeah, our age group and older.
I don't know a lot of young people that collect pop toys, really. Not to play with.
Well, they
Anyone else?
get expensive. So
Yeah.
you gotta
Yeah, they're not
have
cheap.
a
Yeah.
job.
But they also come cheap as well sometimes.
Yeah.
It depends on the character of the person and when you get it, I suppose.
But if
With all of
anything,
them.
I've learned being in this space and in the NFT space and collecting space, you get surprised a lot. And hopefully VeVe comes out of left field with some good utility for some of these big because there's so many additions too. There's like the lightsabers. Let's say they came out with Obi-Wan with his lightsaber, Reva with her lightsaber. Like, hopefully they're gonna come out with something cool where we could actually use our lightsabers. Like, I bet you they got something up their sleeve.
They pretty much said I think they'll drop characters and then you put the lightsabers with them. I think it was Dan that said something along those lines.
Yeah, I heard something.
It'll be like the Slimer and the Ghost Trap. That's the other thing you can use.
Oh, cool.
I was just about to say they did say that, but I think they forgot about that
Yeah.
when they've released the next characters. Because to me, Kenobi should have come without the lightsaber. After that,
Probably looked too sad.
Yeah.
well,
Yeah, he kind of looked like Chuck Norris.
To be fair,
He looked like Chuck Norris.
to be fair, it would probably look even sadder if it didn't have a lightsaber, though.
Yeah, I think he needed it.
That's
I
the
think his
worst thing about
lightsaber
that
was
one.
smaller than him.
He would look like the dude.
What the dude like from the Big Lebowski?
Yeah.
Oh, the dude.
Yeah, the Jeff Bridges.
Oh,
So it would be cool, like. Oh, go ahead.
So go on, carry on.
No, I said, like, it would be cool, like, if they dropped a collectible that was animated, and then you take that lightsaber, like he's animated and or she's animated and it does like a pose or whatever, you know, doesn't do something silly like She-Hulk. But then you put the lightsaber in their hand and they do a completely different animation. You
That
know,
would
kind
be
of like
cool.
the ghost trap does something completely different. Like if they could do that, then I could really see, you know,
Yeah.
those lightsabers getting some value in that, right?
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Like
it.
they're
Well,
they're essentially a key to change the animation to specific collectibles.
that would be cool, because then you can take stuff like say for example like Thor's hammer that a lot of people didn't really put a lot of value in. You could take that and then put it like, you know, in like say Secret Rares for Thor's hand, and then all of a sudden he does like, yeah, a completely different pose. That
Yeah.
would not only give the Thor value, but it also bring value to these like pieces that people didn't really sort of care about to start with.
Exactly. You know, or they like, you know, put Stormbreaker in his hand and he does like a completely different pose, or put Stormbreaker in someone else's hand and see what happens, right?
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Mm.
But that's
It's
like
like
goes back to scalability, right? Can they do that? Because
Is it
that's
possible?
a lot of coding and a lot of processing power.
Yeah.
So
I
and a
think
big
that's
file.
actually sorry. So I think
Oh, go
that's
ahead.
actually the power of Cavernous running the VeVe, because they're actually running the VeVe burst.
Right.
So and they're actually in a
Yeah.
couple of spaces already. So I think that's going to be the key to linking it all together, rather than VeVe building their own VeVe burst. Does that make sense? Because they've already started to get platforms gathered into it.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense that they're outsourcing to make it happen. You know, unless they've got like some crackerjack computer programmer hiding in the back with Legal Dave, they're gonna need a lot of help, and that's fine. You know, that's what companies do, right? They outsource to other companies that know what they're doing. I'm okay with it,
And then
but it's all back to, you know, execution and scalability. That comes from the team.
Yeah, well,
I
it's
think.
like what you say. I'd rather someone that knows how to do something like that try it than, you know, the team that was originally the plan was to make a collectible site. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's
Yeah.
it's that external person's responsibility to keep up with all tech and make sure they're ahead of the game. That would be too much for VeVe to do in house. So I think that was good to hear.
Yeah.
Also, it's good to
Yeah.
see the features flying around, because that demonstrated the interoperability in the VeVeverse. So, which
I'm
I
glad
actually
you mentioned that.
Yeah, I'm
Go
glad
ahead.
you mentioned it too. I actually
I'm glad you mentioned that.
messaged I think Blockchain. I think they're his NFTs. To
That's his
find
thing.
out if the animation was actually there already or if they added it in, because I was curious about that. Does anyone know
Jake?
if that's
I don't know.
You're right.
Well, I
so
know
the
they
fish
could add.
NFT in the VV first?
They could change anything though.
Yeah. See, that's what I was thinking. So all the commons, what we've got, all the common Deadpools, all the common, you know, Daredevils and everything else, will we be able to pose them, move them? Because if the fish was swimming around and the NFT is a 2D bit of art, now I've never seen the NFT, it could already swim around. But that's what I was trying to find out earlier, because if it didn't, then that means you can move stuff, you can manipulate, rather than just dropping it down like you said in the coding earlier, like making collectibles appear. You can actually like move them fully.
Yeah, I think the interoperability portion of it is key to have adoption, and also to have interactability with other platforms. I like the fact that other platforms will probably link into VeVe in the future, and this is just speculation, right? You know, from my own head thinking about it. But like, you know, we're going to probably have a Disney metaverse one day. We'll have a DC metaverse where, you know, you can run around with your bat cowl and you know, fight crime with the Gotham Knights. But the fact that you can then leave that world and go back to your VeVeverse home with your bat cowl, with your Bored Ape, or whatever, and however the implementation works for having that interoperability in that virtual world, I think that's pretty good. You know, that expands the the broader scope of what you can do in there. And to me that's how I look at the VeVeverse. If we're just talking about that construct, not the community, is there's so much that we're going to be able to do in there in theory. You know, it's all about scalability, that there's going to be opportunity. And yeah, it kind of looks like PlayStation 3 and a Grand Theft Auto game. That's what it looks like to me. And I'm okay with the retro look as long as you can do things in there. I look at it as e-commerce. I was literally listening to a space the other day where you have like Silicon and Sanjay, and they're all talking about how it's going to be like some big e-commerce, you know, place where you can socialize, interact, sell, present, drop. I mean, we could probably, you know, Bob mentioned it the other day, we could probably even watch a movie, you know, in our cars in the VeVeverse, like a drive-in movie. It's going to be an interactive area where we can socialize and just be a community in there, but do more. There's going to be businesses in the VeVeverse. And I go back to what David said a few weeks ago in a space, and I think some of you guys were in that space where he was talking about that third place. Were you guys there when he started talking about the third place?
Yeah. Well,
you were there.
I watched it on YouTube. Sorry.
Yeah, I thought that was just spot on, because he's absolutely right. You know, your first place is where, you know, it's your home, it's where your family is. Your second place could be work or you know, some place where you socialize, and then your third place, well, for us, it's VeVe.
Yeah.
And you know, just having that third place and being able to socialize, and also maybe do business or present your art, or maybe Moonage can you know, perform music in there. You know, we'll have concerts in there. It's just very it was very eye-opening for me when I heard that, because then my brain started thinking about, okay, this isn't just about a virtual world, it's about this community, and who else can we bring in this community? And I think maybe one day we're going to link all these metaverses together. It doesn't matter if DC has a metaverse or Disney has a metaverse. That's good. Competition is good. But to be able to like centralize it all into like one place or connect them all, I think it's limitless. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think the same as that as well. And like you say, if it weren't for the community, there wouldn't be anyone to run it. So anyone to be in there doing anything in there, it'd be a waste of money. Put it that way.
It's highly dependent on us taking it and running with it, I think, because yeah, just imagine. So on the demo, there was one house, and we saw lots of people running around that house. But in reality, each of those people running around that house is going to have their own house. So it's reliant on those people arranging to meet, well, us people arranging to meet somewhere and utilizing everything that they've given us to offer. But what they have given us to offer looks good, and what's on the roadmap, the gamification, don't think we've mentioned the worlds fully yet. It sounds great. And one thing I was going to say on the worlds that I thought sounded really good was, I know Disney aren't confirmed yet, but let's just take Thor for an example. You've got the Thor set, so you've got the Thor world as well, which might not exist, as we know. But if you own the common, it opens the outer layer of the world. If you open the uncommon, it opens another one. If you open the rare, have the rare, and if you have the secret rare, you open everything. I thought that was a brilliant idea. Personally, I think it was Dan that loosely mentioned it along those terms. So it gives more incentive to get the sets, and more utility to owning the collectibles in the first place.
You know, I can just see that in my mind. Like, you know, you're in the metaverse, like, you know, you're like wandering around, and all of a sudden you come to a door, which basically leads to like the Bifrost. And like, you know, say like, you know, you've got like the Marvel Mighty of Heimdall or something like that. You can like take it, put it in the door, and then all of a sudden that opens the doors to the Bifrost, and then you can like go through like to Asgard or Valhalla or wherever you want from there. And then say like, you know, you've got like a Marvel Mighty of the Valkyrie or something like that. Then, well, when you get to Valhalla, then you can do other cool stuff. Like you might open another door to like the Great Hall of Mead, where you can like party with like other people. And how cool would that be?
Yeah,
super cool.
It opens up rentability as well. If you don't own that mighty or what, that, you know, secret rare Black Panther Mighty, you can say, right, I want to get in there. I'll pay $1 for today to get into somebody that does own that.
Yeah.
Potentially complete guesswork, but it's just it gets your mind ticking. And I thought that was a really good little sentence that he added in that made you think about the possibilities and utility to owning certain things.
Well, it definitely changed the whole market. That's definitely give everything such crazy value. You know, people aren't going to be flooring and being proud of flooring all these things. Like they might actually be really valuable, or it might actually have some really cool, fun utility, you know, besides just collecting, you know. That's what I'm excited about. I want to see that.
Me too.
Yeah, that would be wicked. Especially if you can take, like, you know, your Black Panther and like put it like in a door and that takes you to like Wakanda or somewhere like that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be incredible. We really need Disney in there. That it'd be so. The possibilities are incredible. Just each mighty set having their own, not necessarily using the mighties, but you know, all of the different brands, Star Wars, Black Panther, Thor, having their own little world that you can unlock little pieces of and have a mini game in. I think that'd just be a mind blowing for me. That'd be,
because I think other projects are sort of like dabbling in that as well. Because I think was it the Board 8 Yacht Club? I think had something like that as well, where they had some tech demo a while back where they had bridging like some two universes or something, where they took like their board apes from one universe and bridged it through like a wormhole into another one or something like that.
Yeah, right. I'm not clued up on that. What?
No, not really. I saw it just briefly, like in passing, but I like the idea.
Yeah, I think that'd be incredible. So with Disney not confirmed, what worlds do you guys think that they're in talks with? Because they've clearly mentioned they're in talks with some people about this stuff.
Well, I personally do think we will get Disney. I do think we will get Disney in the long run. 100%. Well, obviously that's not financial advice, anyone. Don't go buy loads of golden moments. But at the same time, I do think it's been such a big part of VeVe. I think it'd be stupid to just part ways just like that, if that makes sense. But then everyone gets greedy, so it depends if it's bottom line for them or if they want to be part of it, if that makes sense.
I do trust VeVe's powers of persuasion on that, but we know, just based on it not being confirmed yet, I was just curious, what other worlds do you think that they're talking to? What other brands do you think they're talking to be part of the world? The one that springs to mind for me, and the one that I'd want most probably from a personal perspective, is Jurassic Park. I think that would be a good one, especially with the VR feature. I think that could be massive. When I show my nephew and niece the T-Rex animated, that's their favorite one.
Cool.
It's a good one.
Fair, I think that's a lot of people's favorite AR collectible, the Jurassic Park. Superstars love it. I know they love it, and I love it as well, Jurassic Park. So, I mean, I'd be quite happy for Asgard though. That would be pretty cool.
I mean, like, considering that, like, you know, Dave has just said, like, you know, in the recent AMA that he's planning on heading over to Singapore to have talks with the Asian market over that way. Perhaps maybe down the line we'll have something like in the way of like manga and anime. So maybe they'll bring in some worlds, like, you know, in that sort of sense, like, you know, from that sort of what's what I'm looking for, kind of like a persuasion, I guess. So like you can bring like things like Naruto, Bleach, One Punch Man. If you know, just that's
Corno.
Oh yeah, or Okie Dokie, that'd be a good one.
What did you say, Mermaid Corner?
Yeah, Okie Dokie.
Actually, mentioning the Mermaid Corner quickly, that's one of the things I thought would be completely static. But on the demo, I think I saw a yellow Mermaid Corner with like a black horn or red horn, and it was doing
it's moving.
Yeah, it was moving
when they go on their back legs. So that was good as well, because you know it was one of the.
I actually checked that Mermaid Corner, and I think it's a secret rare. It moves.
Right.
It's one of the animated ones. Because I thought the same thing. I thought it was a common at first, but I've seen it move elsewhere.
Fair enough. Still, yeah, good to see it anyway. I was thinking, because DC are all over the NFT space. Sorry, maybe that they're talking to DC to have a world. That would be pretty good if they are. I mean, probably saying yes to everything else. So it'd be nice to have DC in there, and that might push Marvel to want to be in there as well.
Yeah, and Star Wars, why not throw in all the worlds? Why not
Yeah.
throw in all the worlds of Marvel and comic books? And there's so much you could do.
Right, yeah. The possibilities are endless, mate.
Yeah.
Well, I think because Marvel works really close with those guys, and I really think maybe not Disney, and nothing's confirmed, right? But I really think we'll have a Marvel type of world just because of how close VeVe's been working with Marvel. You see it at Comic-Con. I mean, even at D-Con, it was kind of crazy. VeVe was on the pass. You know, that kind of tripped me out. I don't know if you've seen that, but yeah, they were on the pass for all 3 days. So I think we'll get a Marvel world, but what I'm actually more interested in is like these independent worlds, like say a steampunk world, you know, or even like Okie Dokie world or something like that. That's I'm interested in that kind of stuff, and I'm sure those worlds are going to be a lot more easier access, or a lot more for VeVe to interact with versus Disney, where you got to go through lawyers and you got to go through checks and balances to get something done. Yeah, that's what I think.
I'm sure Frank Kozik will have a breeding rabbit world as well.
We haven't gotten that yet. Aren't they supposed to like give birth or something? Those rabbits?
Yeah, especially like breeding them or something. Little breeding program.
These rabbits.
Funny enough, you weren't here for the last conversation. We actually mentioned that yesterday about the rabbits. That's quite funny. But what about the sunflowers? Earlier on, Dan was saying that you might be able to use all the Ukrainian sunflowers for your garden. Imagine having 100 of them in your garden. That'd look pretty sweet.
I go back to the lettuce. What is that? The little silver lettuce? Or
Was it the cabbage?
Cabbage thing.
A cabbage. That's what it is. Lettuce.
That might be the only use for that cabbage. That might be the only use for it.
Hey, we could play soccer with the cabbage.
Could sell it for
What
some
was that,
gems.
sorry?
Sell it for some gems.
Sell them for some gems. That might actually raise the price now you said that. People are going to start buying the cabbage to put in their garden patch.
Now, Dee's going to start a farmer's market in the VeVeverse. She's going to sell cabbage, and it's going to be a banger. She's going to make tons of gems selling cabbage.
The cabbage patch with the myrmecordos.
She'll have her labbit farm on the side. She'll be breeding some labbits at her in her farmer's market.
No, that'd be excellent. I come
This time next year, you'll be millionaires.
A piece.
Do you think we're gonna get the spotlight and the bat signal?
I hope so.
Oh, so Dan, in today's AMA again, actually said that is going to happen in the VeVeverse. He pretty much said 90% that that's going to happen. That the bat signal will show a reflection on the wall in the VeVeverse.
Okay.
Batteries included.
Batteries included.
Batteries included, yeah. I mean, one of the other things that was mentioned today, if you haven't watched the AMA, was the cash out option. So they've actually lowered it to $500 now.
Yeah, 500 gems.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I actually said dollars that time.
Yeah.
The one time I could have said gems.
Yeah.
But what do you think about that? Do you reckon, because they said before Christmas that might happen, that change would take place. So do you reckon the market dumps worse after? Or do you reckon it stays the same as we are? Makes no difference. I mean, it's good. I mean, everyone wants half the limit. That's a good thing to do. But will it affect the market?
I want to hear Anand's perspective on this.
I was going to say, first of all, we're going down anyway, and people could have cashed out anyway. And secondly, for the people that couldn't cash out up to 1,000 gems, even though it's a lot of people, are less likely to move the market massively as well. So I don't think we should see a material impact, and I think we're going to coincide with crypto to gems first, which even though it'll have a small impact, I think there will be some impact, because there's people like me who would have you might have sold some of your crypto when they were higher, and you'd be sitting on some USDT that's doing nothing. So some people will decide to put some in. A lot of people won't, but that'll mitigate the kind of smaller players that wouldn't have reached that £1,000 limit in the first place.
Yeah.
Therefore, I don't think there'll be a massive impact, which is probably part of the decision to lower it in the first place at this point in time. And yeah, that's pretty much my. I didn't know that was happening until right now because I didn't know there was an AMA. So, who was that AMA with? Was that the Superstars one or some?
VeVe.
It literally happened 2 hours
VeVe's
before
AMA.
we started speaking.
Well, I woke up just before this, so
Yeah, it was Alex, Dan, and Dave.
okay, nice.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts on it anyway.
Yeah, I think it's, to me personally, I think it's good that they're lowering it to 500. You know, times are tough, and I'm okay with people taking money out if times are tough and they got to do whatever, buy food or something. But it just gives it takes away a barrier for them to take their money out, which is also attractive. You know, I think 1,000 that was a pretty big steep barrier for people that are they don't have a big footprint in the project. So I think it's a good thing. If things go down, and I kind of agree with Non, things have gone down already. You know, but if it goes down, it goes down. Buying opportunity.
That's right. It gives people a more obtainable option if they do want to opt out of the market.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah, no, I agree with that. I think it's a good thing, 100%. And I actually agree with everything you said, Kenobi. That was actually like spot on with that. That whole statement was pretty spot on. I never thought of it. I think that's the best thing about these chats is like you don't think of something until you hear someone else's perspective. You hear everyone's perspective, and then it persuades you. I think that's the best thing about it, to be honest. It helps change your mind. It helps, other people's thinking.
Each other. Yeah. I met a lot of people at the after party that got into VeVe at the same time I did, and they kind of had the same strategy now, like losing so many gems, just kind of being in the red after buying so high that we're gonna hold on for a while. We're gonna wait for that next bull market. And from what I see, everything's just getting more scarce, and people are holding on. People like me, people like you guys, we're not flipping as much. We're holding on. We're holding on for the long run. I think it's gonna get exciting in the next year. I think it's gonna you're already seeing the comic books editions. Just there's not much. There's 10 under 10. For some of these. That's why I'm stacking some ultra rares. That's why I'm doing these moves so I could actually hit that payout. Like before I couldn't hit that 1,000. I'm like I'd be too much in the red if I were to do that now. But I think it's good, and I think the way the market's gonna go, just the collecting is getting more serious. Like everyone is influencing each other to kind of hold on, collect. You don't need to floor everything. These are valuable. The VeVe verse is gonna probably make it more valuable.
Right now we've actually got 4,500 active wallets. That's what it looks like right now. So I think what's left are the holders right now.
Is that an estimate or is it based off something?
VeVe tracker. So
Right.
VeVe Fox's website.
Yeah, that's interesting to know. I haven't. I need to have a look at that.
Yeah, I tend to keep up with that website just for that reason. I mean, don't let it put you off, because obviously it is Christmas. People are buying presents. They are buying gifts. The sentiment's a bit down. It's been down for a couple of months anyway. And a lot of people are just buying in the market now rather than going for the drops and risking the 7 gem loss fee common.
That's
so
right.
That's one of the other things. It's not just... There's a lack of interest right now because of the season as well as money and everything else, like you say.
I think. Sorry, you go for it, Moonage.
No, go for it.
I was just going to say, Moonage kind of mentioned. There's people. I think there's floors are thinner, first of all, and second of all, there's certain things. Not everything is actually dropping that drastically from the past over the past month or month and a half. So I know about like the golden moments, for example. Elsa has stayed between 200 and 250 a long time now, because there's people like me out there who thinking every time I see this under 200, I'm going to buy it. At the beginning of this video, Hinana and I were looking at the same thing, ASM1. So we're not the only two people out there that would have been looking at it. So if it goes below a certain price, there's people willing to buy it. And same with Iron Man, it stayed between 150 and 200 for a long time now. So when we say things are dropping, it's certain things dropping. Other things have quite a strong user base of people watching it, ready to pick up if it goes below a certain point. And it's kind of like in crypto, you have, you know, my mind's gone blank. What's the floor level? You've got floor level that a lot of people are willing to buy at. Therefore, it's quite hard for it to.
That's it. You basically got like your stop losses.
Yeah, pretty much like that. So, yeah. Although overall, if you own a basket of collectibles all across the board on different things, you're probably going down generally. But some of these golden moments have although they're going down, I really think that they've got some sort of floor. That's the word I was looking at, the floor, sort of floor level, where there's people really willing to pick these up. So,
and imagine if another catalyst like the Eastern markets come in. Imagine how that'll change the game. You know, there's already collectors, there's already people hawkeyeing these floors. You know, I mean, I know I am on some things, like a lot less expensive, but yeah, imagine they do finally get some more marketing, and they grab a hold of other overseas markets. Like that would be huge.
Yeah, we know they're going to start in Q1. What that looks like, I don't know. Maybe they said something in this AMA. Maybe Superstars will ask them on Tuesday, I think it is. That'll be quite interesting what's coming. But eventually the market's going to take a turn, whether it's towards the end of 2023 or early 2024. Who knows? But
so I'll tell you one thing I did notice in the AMA today again. David, you us again. He had Pokemon behind him. At this time, he actually turned around and said, "Not everything you see behind me will be in the app." But he goes, "But there is some hidden gems," and then went like that. Look directly at the Pokemon. So when do we get Pokemon?
Man, I think he had so much stuff behind him that is like a tease. Like there was so much stuff behind him, and a lot of that stuff came from the VeVe fam. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it was really cool. Like all the gifts they got as well. Like, you know, they were showing off, like, you know, all the different things they got, like from My Collectibles, and the hats from Sleepyn Comics, and all the various other T-shirts and arts and crafty type stuff they got as well. All that was really cool as well, and it's really nice to see like people, like, you know, doing that for them as well, as like a show of appreciation.
They're such genuine leaders. It's so likable and clearly love what they do. You can't get a bigger collector than David. Where
he was actually the first person I met at the VeVe booth, and I gave him my stickers, and just the way he interacted with like the kids and just adults, you know, it was really cool to see. You know, it was cool to see who was really genuine, and they just like love the project. It's
well, that's that's what I saw at London Decon as well. It's like, you know, how many CEOs of a big company do you see willing to get in there and interact with other members of their community, party with them in the after parties, like, you know, go drinking with them. Like, you know, how many other CEOs of a company do that? Not many that I can think of, and that's what really gave the whole project, like, you know, validation and like real promise for the future in my eyes.
And if people do that, sometimes it looks forced, but they genuinely seem to love it.
You don't see a CEO in the wild hanging out bowling with you, eating pizza, you know, having a beer. You don't see that, you know.
No, you don't.
It's not going to last forever neither. So if things take off, the events are going to get bigger, and there's going to be less time with these people.
That's
so
right.
At the minute, you want to take the most of it, make the most of it. Sorry.
Yeah, I think in the future these times will be looked back in a nostalgic manner, even from them. They're thinking, oh, back then we had time to actually hang out with all of the community, do X, Y, and Z, and we'll be thinking, yeah, we could have bought this for X amount. Now it's this. It's just one of those eras you'll kind of look back on. Is my thought in a few years.
I've got to be honest. If everything does go up like we think it will, I'm going to be so hurt of all the things I did not buy. It's going to be so painful to watch everything go back up. I mean, I actually watched one of my older videos, and the prices just, the prices were just crazy. Watching the difference of me talk about the prices, and when I was looking at it, I think the first one that come up was Journey to the Mystery. Sorry. So the first one that come up was that. So each common I paid 60, 70 gems for at the time. The uncommons 130 gems. So I had about 4 of them in that video. And obviously now they're like 10 gems. It's just painful. But one day we could get back there.
Yeah, that's not that bad to drop. There's some things that you've got secret red Deadpool for. I don't even want to say how much. And yeah, that's like 90% down.
This is why I've got the 100 gem limit. Because I
think we all have stories of a bad buy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But now,
Here's that.
Yeah. But that's the same thing. Like anything in life, it was a good idea at the time, wasn't it?
Try and look at the future in a more positive manner. If we take it month by month, we're looking at. So we're in December now. We're going to get crypto to gems at some point. I don't know. Again, I don't know what's been said. In
next 3 days.
It's what? Sorry, 3 days.
Apparently it's in beta now. They've tried and tested it. It's pretty much done. But they did say today in the AMA that they actually had some errors in testing, but obviously that's what testing is for.
Yeah.
But they did say they reckon that's pretty much done. That's ready to roll out.
That's good. So that could keep us steady for December. I'd imagine MCP will kick in January, and I personally think there'll be a slight bump up because people will start buying certain things like I don't know, like the secret rare Disney posters. There's some of those that's $30 to $35. I think there's a couple. I don't think they're going to be on there after MCP because having the set of them is going to be insane MCP points.
Yeah.
So let's say January again, maybe we have a slight upturn, and then February might have hangover effects of MCP if we're lucky, trying to be positive. March, I'd expect our values to drop a little bit because the novelty of MCP, crypto to gems and things wears off. And you'd like to think in Q1 they've started their marketing. March is the end of Q1. Maybe we'll see some effects of that marketing in April, hopefully, to at least have like a 2% drop or, mitigate the effects of that drop. And then we're kind of getting towards the middle of 2023. Half of what's going to be a tough year is already over. And God, it's too hard to predict after that. So I think that's a positive way to look at the months coming up, because there's things mitigating the drops, and then nobody knows what's going to happen in 7 months. So I wouldn't want to go beyond that. But
that's right.
Just moving away from thinking about January all-time highs. Hopefully we're close to the end of all that stuff.
Yeah, I think just on the subject of MCP points as well, you might see a spike in all these single sets as well, like the ones that really easily get MCP points for. You'll probably see a spike in those. Yeah,
on that we didn't actually mention the bat signal on the latest drops, did we? Oh, you did mention the light. So, but what are the other ones? The battle statue, they're single sets. Daredevil and
Daredevil, Silver Surfer,
Silver Surfer.
Yes, stamps. You got Chimichanga.
Oh yeah.
Captain Carter.
Not that anyone wants it, but
yeah. So single sets are like low at the moment, easy to obtain. Like you run English sets, your glider blueprints from James Bond, all those sort of things. You'll probably see a bit of a spike in those, and then same thing. They'll spike, they'll plateau, and then they'll probably gradually start to drop off again.
Yeah, definitely. So it's more about picking what you get thinking about what's coming. It's all speculation, but there's some fact in that speculation, as we know MCP's coming, so we've kind of seen an article on it before. So yeah, it's going to be.
So again, referring to the AMA, what you all missed apparently. So the MCP's apparently end of the year it's going to start, I think he said, or January. But the first phase is literally just going to be showing you your points, what you've accumulated.
Yeah, and like a
There'll be
leaderboard.
nothing more than that.
Okay.
But it will show you what you've got.
I'd imagine there's going to be some sort of article that's going to tell us what's worth what as well, even if it's not actually incorporated, because they've got to calculate our points somehow.
Yeah.
In order to calculate them, they know the basis for that. So
yeah, there'll be an updated article or something similar to mine.
Yeah, and if they don't, somebody in the community is going to work it out based off what they hold. So
Yeah.
I'll tell you one of the other random things I just thought of in the head. What was mentioned again was being able to rent people, well, hire people to make your VeVeverse space rather than you do it yourself.
Mm.
I'm glad you changed from rent people, because that means you own them. So that's.
Are you back? You didn't get rugged on a sin?
For me? No, oh, no. You don't want to see me wipe my nose with the tissue, I don't think.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Well, we're lucky. The power has not gone out, but
you guys did well.
yeah, the other night when we did the chat, the power went out, and so these guys were just left in the chat, and luckily I made Alex a co-host. If not, the whole thing would have gotten rugged.
Mm.
Yeah, good thing we weren't actually recording.
Yeah.
Or maybe it would have been real life situations.
Well, this time we're set up. We got a computer at our office backing this up. I got a computer right next to me backing this up, and then I got this one that I'm on right now backing this up. So I ain't taking any chances.
Well, my cat's actually done a better job of not destroying everything tonight, so at least that's a bit better than the other night. Because I think literally my camera went, the drums went, the tree went, just everything that could go wrong that day went wrong.
And we didn't film it.
Yeah, we should have done that just for the crack of it, to be honest.
The hook.
Been pretty good.
Yeah.
So guys, real quick, we've been on for 2 hours. How are you guys doing on time?
2 hours.
Yeah,
Have
well,
we actually been on for 2 hours?
I think
Yeah.
my daughter.
Yeah, I was gonna go pretty soon.
Sorry,
Yeah.
guys.
I
No.
haven't got much time left either.
Yeah, are you going to be able to do your ultra talk,
Yeah,
Alex?
yeah. Oh, well, that's I was about to say. If you guys don't mind, I can do it now.
Yeah.
I'll quickly knock that out.
Why don't you send us off?
Okay. All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Alex. I go by Osman Collect 63, and this is Ultra Talk, which is the premiere episode. So, as you all know, or you may have seen me around in Twitter, ultra rare comics is kind of my thing. I hit a personal milestone a little while ago, crossing 100 ultra rare comics, which to me was a big thing, and it's taken me a while to do it. So again, thank you, VeVe, and for making that possible. And just as a fun little thing to sort of say thank you and try something a bit different, and also for myself as well, to sort of build my sort of confidence a little bit, I thought I'd try to review one ultra rare comic that I like. So it's going to be a little bit about what it is, the artist behind it, if there's any significance, and this is the premiere episode. Hopefully I don't butcher it, and let me know in the comments how I did. Okay.
Great so far.
The FA.
Okay, so my ultra rare choice for this one is Daredevil's number 25, which is the first appearance of Elektra as Daredevil. And Dee, I did send you a photo. Are you able to bring it up at all, or?
Okay, hopefully I don't rug this.
Okay.
We're in beta, guys.
Yeah.
I
Like I
must
said,
say, is this the book with the common with the orange jumpsuit? What I said was terrible to read.
quite possibly. Yeah, there it is. That's the one. So first of all, a little bit about the comic itself. It's 30,000 edition comic. There's 1,050 ultra rare editions of it. Basically, the comic itself is nothing overly special. VeVe Ranks has got it ranked as a C on his chart. Big shout out to Sleepyn Comics as well. So I also pay attention to his ranking system. I'm sure a lot of other people do as well. It's not an exclusive VeVe cover, so you can find this on eBay and in real life as well. I did have a look on eBay as well, and the sort of prices sort of go around. So for a 9, I think it's 9.6 sold for about $65. So not great, but not fantastic either. And I did have a look on Go Collect as well, and they've got it ranked at a 9.6. Last sale was about $70. So again, not a fantastic comic if you're looking for investment purposes. Right now on the app itself, the floor price as of recording this and last time I checked was 18 gems, so very affordable. Now, basically the one that sort of struck me with this one is that it's done by the artist behind it is Peach Momoko, which you all might be quite familiar with. As far as I can tell, it's this is the only piece of her work ultra rare wise on the app. The only other piece of her work on the app that we've got is the Ghost Spider #2, which was the artist proof, which sold at auction for nearly just over 8,000 gems. So pretty cool to the bloke who bought that, which was Elemental NFT 2020. So good on you, mate. Right. So a little bit about the artist herself. So the artist is Peach Momoko. Basically, she's a Japanese comic book artist and writer. Peach Momoko is actually not her real name. There's actually basically a pseudonym or an alias that she goes by. So the way this sort of name came about is she basically got stuck with it from her friends from art school, which she used it for an exhibition in Japan in 2009, and she's basically just kept using it ever since. Basically, she moved to America to do a bit of work there, and now she lives back in Japan with her husband and a dog in Japan. She started drawing at a very young age and attended school. Basically, she attended school for video game design, but wanted to do illustrations instead. Basically, her career. So some of her career highlights. She was inspired by. This is a Japanese name, so I'm sorry if I butcher this. It's Asushi Kaneko, and she worked in high school to become an illustrator. Oh, so she went to high school to become an illustrator. She's also had her work displayed in various art shows and exhibitions around Europe. Here's a fun fact. She was actually an editor at a porno magazine after her high school graduation. It was she basically had an she did some illustrations, I believe, for, I think it's called Sniper Eve, which is a Japanese pornographic magazine. Her first published comic book work was illustrations for winter issues of Girls of Corpse magazine, which is a horror comedy magazine. Let's see, and in early 2015, she participated in her first Japanese conventions, where she gained basically exposure to other artists and other companies, and a few other various artists as well. She got first introduced to Marvel Comics by, I'm going to try and say this again, Adi Ganavo. Basically, this is a bloke who's done a lot of work on Iron Man. But her first illustration for Marvel came with variant cover for Marvel Rising #1. What's another fun fact as well? During the pandemic, she produced 20 cover illustrations per month, which basically really upset a couple of people because she was basically more or less flooding the market with her work. Okay, in late 2022, she signed an exclusive deal with Marvel as part of the Marvel Stormbreaker lineup of rising artists. So that way she exclusively does work for Marvel now. And now this is another cool one. In 2021, she launched Momoko's Demon Days, which is a series that she created and called it basically the Momoko verse, which basically what it is like a Japanese style, Japanese folk tales, but it's of Marvel superheroes and different superheroes. That was a 5-part one-shot series, where she also did another one in April of 2022, where she did Demon Wars, which is basically a play on the Civil Wars storyline, but in like that sort of Japanese sort of style. And I did send you the other photo I did sort of send you as well was basically just a small snippet of what the Demon Days sort of artwork is like. If we're able to bring that up at all. This is the one from the Demon Days lineup, and yeah, I reckon it looks absolutely beautiful. You know, the use of colors, the purple, and just like the stylization just looks fantastic. This one's not on the app, but again, out there in real life. So if you get a chance to pick one up, I would definitely recommend it. And she's basically said, like, you know, basically her sort of style and inspiration. So her style has basically been like sort of like it's sort of similar to what they call the Bushido, which is like the beautiful girl style, which is kind of like a big phenomenon in Japan, which is kind of like that kind of like a cute sort of like but dangerous sort of look that they sort of have in Japan. And she also prefers to tell stories involving like samurai, Japanese folk tales, and dreamlike situations and real life problems of adolescence. So that's the sort of like style that she tries to sort of play in. She often does color work, but she does draw inspiration from like black and white and focusing on balancing of light and shadows, which you can sort of see displayed like in this sort of piece here. And she said a lot of her inspirations come from art-inspired Japanese cinema, like horror, military, and what they call pink films. So a good example of a pink film over here would be like your 50 Shades of Grey, like, you know, your Basic Instinct, you're kind of like a erotica type film. She also says like styles of music and also line work from tattoo artists also have a big influence on her work as well. But yeah, that's basically the sort of summary of Peach Momoko as I've sort of dug around on the internet for at a sort of like a last second.
You've done well.
Yeah,
Thank you. And yeah, as for the comic book itself, my thoughts on it and why I like it is I just like the fact that it's got Electro on the front, and yeah, just the use of colors and the shading, the way the red and the grays kind of like interact and sort of look together, just looks amazing. It's like I said, the comic itself isn't overly fantastic. I mean, like all it is just the first appearance of Electro as Daredevil. Like Daredevil's just basically gone to prison, pleading guilty for crime, and now he's in there doing time, and Electra sort of come in saying like, no, I'll take up the mantle and sort of look after things while you're doing time, even though you probably shouldn't be here. So yeah, the comic itself not overly great, but the cover art and the artist, yeah, really enjoy work, and I think we should hopefully get some more of her work on the app. Be nice. And yeah, that's my session on Ultra Talk. Thank you very much. Again, Alex, I go by OzmanCollect63 on Twitter and everything else. If I did a great job, say let me know. If you want to see any more of these, again, let me know. If I did a horrible job and butchered it, let me know. I'm open to all comments and always want to try and improve. And yeah, thank you very much.
Nice
Thank you, Alex.
Good job. Good job. Yeah.
That was a good
And
job.
breathe.
We haven't finished yet. But yeah, no, you've done a great job, mate.
Yeah.
Again, everyone here is new, so we're all just getting used to this whole idea of everything. But that was a great first attempt. Well
That's it,
done.
mate. That was my first attempt, raw and unedited.
Yeah.
So
Great
as I
job.
say, everyone, I think we'll end it there because, as you say, we've been a while. So it's been a pleasure knowing you all.
Wait.
Raise
We
your
got
hand.
one more. We got one more.
Wait,
What's going on?
real quick. first off, it's really good to see Anon and Moonage on the chat. You know, like you guys, it was just us four at first, and it's good to see more mates involved. And you know, we're happy that you guys are a part of the group. Anon, I really love your perspective, man. I'm glad you came on. I want you to come on more if you can. I really dig your perspective, and you're also a straight shooter. I really appreciate that. And Moonage, yeah, I met you in person, man. You're just awesome, dude. And I'm gonna just say it. Moonage made our logo, and I love it. So
Yeah.
thank you, mate.
Big
Thing's
shout out,
awesome,
man.
but
Yeah, thank you.
It's all right.
yeah, it looks good, and I'm glad you guys are here. And of course, you know, Bob, you know, the infamous Bob Sales. It's always good to chat with you, brother. You know, follow him on his channel. Give some likes. He's got a YouTube channel, and he's out there putting out content and putting himself out there. Give him a shout out, give him a follow. And you know, Alex, obviously, you know, brother, we've been friends for quite some time in VeVe, and you know, yeah, you're awesome. And then yeah, my beautiful wife as well. But I kind of wanted to say that real quick. And come find us on Twitter. My handle is TheRealHinano. You know, we're always looking for new members. And yeah, come find us.
Right
Anybody
on.
else want to say anything else?
Moonage, you raising
Oh,
your
no.
hand?
No, thank you for that. That was cool. Glad to be a part of this. Glad to like create with you guys. That's what I love to do. So, and great to meet all of you.
It's good to have you with us.
Yeah, man.
Same with the rest of this. So anyway, like I was going to say to you all, it has been an absolute pleasure speaking to you all again. As we say, we are all mates. That is the main thing here. So it's been absolutely phenomenal. Thank you for your time, everyone. Is there anything else you want to say?
Can't wait for the next one.
Yeah, can't wait for the next one. That's what I like to hear. That's the spirit.
One more thing. I kind of want to give a shout out to Tropical Bird. We want to get her on the next one, and we will. We're gonna get you on here next time. And then Ghost 888. He's another member that joined, as well as Poppy. He was actually on our Wednesday chat that we didn't film. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it tonight. But maybe the next time. And then Lord Rostow, the infamous chiropractor. He's super busy, guys. He's actually starting a couple new businesses. So we'll get him on here sooner or later.
Yeah, for sure.
Rugged by the chiropractor, eh?
All right, take it home, Bob.
But yeah, it's been nice having you, everyone. So anyway, I've been Bob Sales, your host. These have been the VeVe Mate team. As always, this time next year, we will be millionaires. A peace.
All right. Give me a minute to stop all this.
Thank God for that. I could stop holding the camera. My camera mount broke 2 hours ago and I've been holding it.
You're kidding.
No, look. I'm going to drop it now. Look. Oh!
I'll see you guys. I'll see you in the
I've been
next one.
holding that for 2 hours.
Yeah.